Gerald.
Hello, Richard.
It's lovely to meet you.
Thank you.
And thank you so much. This was all your idea, wasn't it? You saw a previous video and you said, you've got to come
that's right.
and have a look at Tillington.
Absolutely.
And I'm thrilled to do so. So we're standing by the west door.
Yes.
Of All Hallows Church.
Correct.
It's a church that, I'm just going to say this, it's a church that lots of people recognise, don't they, as they travel on the A272.
It's a real landmark from the road.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's been here since the 12th century, albeit not with the tower that most people associate it with. So we can go inside and see some of the remains of the 12th century still there.
Well, let's do that because it is a bit windy on the outside. So we're going to go and take a look on the inside. It is, I have to say, a very beautiful church.
It is, and particularly the symmetry of it, both sides. It was remodelled in 1807 under the patronage of Lord Egremont, the 3rd Earl of Egremont of Petworth House, who kindly spent the money and redid it, and we think it's a beautiful church.
He seems to have been a very a lovely earl, isn't he? He seems to have had a lot of interest in the local community. He built it
so that it was on the edge of Petworth Park, and so that he could see it from his house.
Oh, right. So he had an ulterior motive as well. Well, why not? So yes, so the cemetery, I think you were telling me that it used to just have a south aisle and not a north aisle.
That's right. The north aisle was put on at that time in 1807, and thus it's balanced up now. And I can take you to show you the 12th century font, which is 8-sided stone font, still with its the iron inside, the lead inside, which we still use it to this day.
It's lovely, isn't it? It's quite rare now to see that lead still there.
That's right.
And I like the fact it's got its own little plug,
yes.
which is great to keep the water in whilst that baby's being baptised.
That's right.
Which is delightful. And it's a lovely height.
It is, isn't it?
You know, some of them are quite low, and you imagine that they're having to stoop, but this one's a good height.
Very good height.
Yeah, wonderful.
I'm going to show you the old staircase, which was up. They used to walk up to the rood beam, which is above the arch here.
Oh yes, above the Chancel arch.
Yes, and it's very steep staircase. One would hate to walk up it nowadays. Thank goodness it's blocked off, but at least we can see some of the stairs that were there at that time.
Gosh, and the purpose of that was to do what?
That during Lent, any statue that was on the rood beam would have to be covered up with a veil or taken away and replaced after Easter Day.
Oh, I see, yes. Right, so somebody had that task to do. Hence the stairs.
Yes.
Oh, how interesting. Wonderful. It's nice to know that you can still at least glimpse them.
It is. It's quite a little feature. Here we are in the chancel, and the nice stained glass window there.
Beautiful stained glass window, yes.
This is the oldest part of the church, 12th century. So it's wonderful to think that people have been praying in this church for 800 years.
It's amazing, isn't it? We're standing there and people have been coming in. Sometimes I think people forget, don't they, that all that time passes and people have been doing the same activity.
Yes.
It is incredible.
That's a famous statue to a man called Stanier Clark, who was rector here in the 1830s and was a friend of Prince Regent, who of Brighton fame.
Gosh.
And he remodelled the rectory as it was in those days.
And I noticed that you've got over here the lots of wet scraping marks.
Yes, this is probably the oldest part of the church, and would have been the original, probably the original buttress to the tower, which we're going to go up in a minute. And probably it had scraped off from during the Reformation, taking off pictures maybe, and probably paint at least.
Yes, gosh. Well, they did a fine job of that, didn't they?
Yes.
All over the place.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we just passed a nice stained glass window, which we call the Mitford Windows, because the Mitford family used to live in the village, and relations still do.
Oh, right.
And they put in these two fine windows, The Light of the World by Holman Hunt. And they're very good with the sun behind it.
Yes.
It shows up well.
It does light up brilliantly.
Yes. Take you now up to the Belfry.
Right.
And we will be going through the vestry here. And this bit's okay up into the Belfry. There are 5 bells that we will see in a moment. 3 of them are from the 16th century and 17th century.
And I can hear the clock.
You hear the clock, and I wind the clock every week.
Oh, do you?
Keep it going. It's built in 1895 by Smiths of Derby, and it's still going very well indeed. The innards of the clock.
Oh, wow, yes.
Next lot.
A bit of a narrow fit.
Yes.
Must have a chance. Amazing.
These, of course, are the 5 bells, and as I said before, 3 of them are very old indeed, and the other 2 are more modern. You have some wonderful pictures of deer just there.
Good heavens. Hang on, let's get some of those.
We are really blessed. They're not always here, and they are original herd going back to the 12th, 13th century, and they've still got their original strain in them. And because there's a wall all around the park, other deer haven't come in to spoil the strain at all.
That's amazing. Isn't that incredible?
And only just last weekend, 200 of them have gone up to Yorkshire to start a fresh herd on the Musgrove estate. Coming to the south side, we're now looking over the Rother Valley. The River Rother is down in the valley there, and we're looking towards the South Downs, and the village of Duncton is there, and Graffham is over there, and Petworth is to our left, a mile away. This is the extent of the village. The old rectory is just in front of us here. This is now looking eastwards into Petworth Park, and Petworth House is just behind those trees, which we can't see.
It's totally exhilarating.
Yeah, yes.
And of course the roof. We're right standing underneath these incredible arches, aren't we?
Which is the called a Scots Crown, and it's by far the furthest south in England. The other ones being in the Midland, one more in the Midland and one in Newcastle. But it's a copy of the one in the Royal Mile in Edinburgh, St Giles's Cathedral.
It is amazing. Thank you so much for taking me around your magnificent church. I've absolutely enjoyed it. We are getting a bit blown here. I hope that there's not too much wind on the microphone, but it's been absolutely stunning.
It's been a pleasure to show you, Richard.
You are a star. Now, I've climbed up with one hand holding the camera, which is quite scary at times. However, I can stop filming and climb down with both hands, which will be lovely. Thank you, Gerald. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you, Richard.
Do join me again when I go exploring somewhere else, but from Tillington in West Sussex. Till the next time, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Oh, wonderful.
Yes, yes, yes.